On this episode of China Uncensored, what do you call a huge music festival that tackles the issue of oppression in China? Blacklisted. Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. You know, I don't like to brag, but I'm known in certain circles as a tastemaker, an arbiter of style, someone with his finger on the pulse of popular culture. And take it from me, the 90s are back. Slap bracelets, Crystal Pepsi, Twin Peaks. A music festival that raises awareness about Chinese human rights abuses. No, not the free Tibet concerts. I'm talking about the Blacklisted Music and Arts Festival, coming up in Los Angeles on July 29th. It's got a bunch of cool bands and two incredibly charismatic hosts. I'm proud to be hosting Blacklisted, along with Miss World Canada Anastasia Lin. After all, for years, I've been looking for a way to combine my two favorite hobbies. No, not deep-sea fishing and javelin throwing. Making music and trolling the Chinese Communist Party. And of course, because a festival that tackles authoritarian censorship and human rights abuses in China is being held not in China, but in Los Angeles, everything is going great and there are no problems at all. No, not really. Actually, the Blacklisted concert just got blacklisted. Funny story. Back in December, California State Parks had granted the organizers of the festival a permit to hold the event for up to 10,000 people at the Los Angeles State Historic Park, which is on the edge of LA's Chinatown. They got permission, coordinated with the Parks Department, lined up the bands, and launched their promotional campaign. But months later, in mid-May, the Parks Department suddenly told Blacklisted producer Nick Janicki that he had to meet with the head of the LA Chinatown Business Improvement District, George Yu. That meeting did not go so well. Janicki says Yu told him that the event was anti-China, and that the event can't mention things like Tibetan freedom, slave labor, environmental destruction, and the most taboo subject of all, Falun Gong. Janicki told him basically, sorry, the CCP is killing Falun Gong practitioners for their organs. It's kind of a big deal and we're not going to keep silent. Keep in mind that Blacklisted is not a protest or march, it's a music and arts festival. A few days later, Mr. Yu sent Janicki this email saying the LA Chinatown Business Improvement District wouldn't support the event because of its anti-China sentiments. And he managed to get the California State Parks Department, which operates the land, to withhold their permit. Basically, Blacklisted got repressed for trying to raise awareness about repression. It's like Woodstock getting shut down for being too peaceful, or Coachella getting shut down for having too many celebrities. So what could the organizers do?
Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
So was the Chinese Communist Party working behind the scenes, making menacing phone calls to shut Blacklisted down? Well, George Yu told my producer over the phone that's not the case. He said, quote, "We have zero relationship with the Chinese government. Our responsibility is to our community." Well, if that's true, it's actually scarier when you think about what it means. Without any direct pressure from the Chinese Communist Party, a Taiwan-born American community leader feels compelled to block an event that calls for improving human rights in China because he's concerned that the Chinese community in Los Angeles wouldn't want the Communist Party's human rights abuses to be exposed. George Yu told LA Weekly in colorful language that Nick Janicki wants to do an anti-China event. Can you imagine having an anti-Mexican event in Boyle Heights? They'd kick his ass. Actually, no. It would be like having an event exposing the damage corrupt police and drug cartels are doing to Mexico and calling that racist. Janicki told us, quote, "We have a moral and ethical obligation to tell people about what's happening in China. We want a future where people come before money and justice wins over greed." Yeah, that's terrible. You know, for decades, the Chinese Communist Party has been influencing overseas Chinese communities through the media. They've been largely successful. They've instilled the idea that the Communist Party is China, and that opposing the party means being anti-China. Think about it. That's like saying being against Kim Jong-un's regime is the same as being anti-Korean. Well, if the LA Chinatown Business Improvement District is afraid that exposing human rights abuses in China would hurt the Chinese community, so be it. Janicki says that the Blacklisted Festival doesn't want to hurt the Chinese community, and so he's not trying to get the park permit back. So, Blacklisted may have gone blacklisted in Chinatown, but it's not getting shut down. It's just moving to a different location in Los Angeles. A couple days ago, they signed a contract with The Reef, a nearby venue that's thrilled to host Blacklisted. But all this does go to show you that decades of propaganda has worked. It's convinced Chinese people overseas that they should still support the Chinese Communist Party and silence any voices that might want to expose the party's problems. And in this case, it kind of backfired. By trying to blacklist Blacklisted, the LA Chinatown Business Improvement District has given it even more publicity than it had before. Oh, the delicious, delicious irony. So if you love China and hate repression, you should come join me in trolling the Communist Party at Blacklisted in Los Angeles on July 29th. Tickets are on sale now on their website for a limited time. The link is below. And if you can't make it to the concert, help spread awareness about the Chinese regime's censorship by sharing this video on social media with the hashtag #IamBlacklisted. So what do you think of the blacklisting of Blacklisted? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching this episode of China Uncensored. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Chappell, and I hope to see many of my 50-cent army at the Blacklisted Music and Arts Festival on July 29th. This is going to be awesome.